flight logs, guest lists, island rumors, the whole circus. But buried beneath the noise, almost deliberately blurred, lies the actual story, the thread that ties everything together, the Israeli connection. And trust me, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nissim Black Show. Always my greatest pleasure to be with all of you. One of the things I want to discuss today that we have not talked about so much here on this channel has been the Epstein files. You know, people went crazy with this. People literally went nuts with the Epstein files. You know, Donald Trump, that was one of the things he ran on. People turned their back on him behind it because, you know, they felt like, there wasn't justice going to these victims. And now that they're out, I mean, what? Now what? That's the question. That's the $1 million question, is now what? Now, there were many people who were looking for them because they actually wanted justice for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein. There were other people who were really after, the Clintons and all these other fake and crooked politicians that he was connected with. And then other people wanted Donald Trump to be taken down, right? There were so many different things, right? But what people wanted on both sides was, and I'm not saying everybody, but there was a great deal of people that have been wanting to say that, oh, let's find out that he's Mossad. So here's the thing. It is so disgusting, the double standard that we have today when it comes to Israel, right? So when you look at this now, by and large, what you have seen is that he was connected to a lot of powerful people, a lot of mostly Democrats, mostly leftists. That's what he was mostly. But we're not going to pin it all on them. There was also some Republicans and other people that were connected with him, and I'm sure only more information is going to come out as time goes. But, when we look at Israel, and he was connected in business and finance or whatever. Okay, so let's just be honest with ourselves. He was Jewish. Okay, so he was obviously connected with Israel, as every Jew is, no matter what their connection or affiliation is with their Judaism, even though I could say very much so Jeffrey Epstein had nothing to do with his faith. It was something to do with, money. It was business, just like it was in other countries. Now, Jeffrey Epstein was connected to other countries as well. Now, when you look at Israel, though, who was he connected with? Who was he connected with? Ehud Barak. Ehud Barak is the leftist of all leftists here in Israel. You're talking about the left-wing party. And what people will not make the connection with, they will not take it because they have double standards. They will not take it and say, wow, there's a stream of him being connected, by and large, no matter what country it is, and with the left primarily, right? Instead, you have Ehud Barak, because he was the prime minister of he must have been an Israeli spy. He must have been Mossad. And then they make all these other connections. Maxwell, her father was connected, even though he died before they ever met each other. Like, the whole entire thing becomes convoluted. And it's because everybody has an agenda. I want to show you a tweet the other day from Benjamin Netanyahu. So Benjamin Netanyahu posts this article from jacobin.com. So he posts this article that talks about Jeffrey Epstein. He just makes a tweet, and it's very classy. He didn't say anything about it. Now, if Epstein was possibly a Mossad spy, right, or if he was an Israeli asset, why would Benjamin Netanyahu post this, right? He wanted to show that he had something to do with the elections, right? For the left wing, the Democratic Party of Israel, basically. We'll just say it that. It's going to be easier for everybody. And so he makes this tweet because he's obviously insinuating that not only that, he will go on to say publicly even that Jeffrey Epstein did not like Benjamin Netanyahu. They did not have a good relationship, so to speak. So after this tweet, you would think people will go like, hey, well then why is Bibi saying this? Like, shouldn't we think, now that this is coming out in this type of fashion, shouldn't we think that perhaps he was not an Israeli spy? That's what we would think. If we were thinking with our logic over here, we think that this guy, just like we've seen, gets involved in election, gets involved, and he wants politicians in power of whom he can control and who he is associated with. But no, Megyn Kelly now retweets Benjamin Netanyahu And her response is this. So I guess it's not anti-Semitic to ask if Epstein as an asset for Israel intel, and we shouldn't just take Ehud Barak's word for it that he wasn't. Got it. Right? She's taking it all wrong. Netanyahu posting this article argues, right, that Ehud Barak should mean, at minimum, an end to the widespread taboo of even asking questions about the billionaire sex offenders' links to the Israeli state. What's crazy about this is that she took it all wrong, because she so badly wanted to talk about this, because she so badly wanted to say that he's Mossad, that even when Benjamin Netanyahu does the one thing that should really shut these people up, no, they go, oh, wow, now we can talk about it. Why not Ehud Barak? And this is why I say it's a double standard. If it's in America, forget about the CIA, right? That claim, we could take that off the table. We could put it on the table, take it off the table, whatever the case is. Let's forget about the CIA. Forget about him being a spy or Israeli or American connected. It's the Democrats. That's what you'll see from people like me. Oh, the Democrats over here. But as far as when it goes to the Israeli Democrat, then, oh, it's all the Israelis. He's a spy for the Israelis, right? You see the double standard? And you're going to see this rhetoric. It's not only from them, it's coming from everywhere. And of course, yours truly, the Muslims. So I want you to see this video. It's a little cringe. I'm going to tell you, it's a little cringe. It's a little bit too much acting and too much going on and crazy, conspiracy at one time. But I want to share this video with you to show you just how nuts people are.
Guest lists, island rumors, the whole circus. But buried beneath the noise, almost deliberately blurred, lies the actual story, the thread that ties everything together, the Israeli connection. And trust me, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because the Epstein links didn't just reveal a falling financier, they opened a door the American establishment hoped would remain firmly locked, the door that leads straight into the machinery of American power. And what emerges is, well, let's call it what it is, a vice network, a triangular system built on money, politics and sex, each side feeding the other, and at the center of it all, a foreign influence machine that has spent decades learning exactly how to capture the world's most powerful elite.
And those are the things nobody can argue. The guy was definitely connected with all the wrong or the right people, however you look at it. And because of that, he used and exerted his will in places and had pull and clout that the average person just couldn't even dream of. And nobody's doubting that. But what you'll see by these anti-Semites, because that's what they are, they will always try to find a reason to pin it back as an Israel thing. All right? And I know I speak I speak for almost every Jew. Nobody's claiming this guy right now. And it's just is what it is. Nobody's claiming this guy right now.
Epstein, he wasn't an accident, he wasn't a rogue actor, he wasn't even particularly clever. He was the face, the charming, disgusting, well-connected face of something far bigger. Think about it. His closest confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of Robert Maxwell, a man whose Mossad ties are practically an open secret. His business ties, running through Ehud Barak, the former Israeli prime minister who kept visiting Epstein even after the conviction, and conveniently headed Carbine, an Israeli security.
And he's a corrupt person also. Corrupt, open atheist. What do you want me to tell you? That's what you will smell by most of. There are threads that connect all of these people. Don't try to pin it on Israel. There are threads that connect all these people. But I think a lot of people, because of their bias, they're choosing the wrong thread.
Tech firm Epstein invested in. And then there's the revelation from Dropsite News. Yoni Koren, a senior Israeli intelligence officer, literally living in Epstein's Manhattan home for long stretches between 2013 and 2016, living in his house. You tell me, does that sound like a man orbiting intelligence circles or a man at their very center? But possibly the most disturbing revelation isn't about Epstein at all. It's about the elite who flocked to him from Texas boardrooms to Abu Dhabi palaces, fawning over him like he was the maître d'or of the global power club. Because he was the key holder, the man who could...
And I'm sorry again about this lady. It is horrible. It is just too much, and it's cringe. It's cringe. It's cringe. But we're gonna sit through it. We're gonna make it. You and I, we are going to make it.
Get you into rooms normal politicians only dreamt of, rooms where consequences vanished and appetites reigned. Epstein's world, the island, the jets, the apartments wasn't a playground. It was a trap, a factory of leverage, a catalogue of weaknesses, a one-stop compromat shop. And here's the bitter truth. A compromised man is a controlled man. A guilty man is an obedient man who would sign anything. And a man terrified of exposure, well, he's practically gift-wrapped for whoever wants to use him. Which brings us to the daylight arm of the same machine, AIPAC.
Okay.
If Epstein was the covert tool, the psychological, sexual, compromising mechanism, then AIPAC was the visible one, the financial arm, the legislative arm. One seduced, the other bought, two halves of one system. Last year alone, AIPAC funneled over $53 million into American elections, backing 361 candidates. That's not philanthropy, that's procurement.
Now, the truth of it is, everybody is. Hopefully, we'll pull up these numbers. Yitzi, if you see, pull up these numbers, because AIPAC compared to what these other foreign, and we'll say foreign because AIPAC is American. Now, what they have lobbied, and we have talked about this, and what they've spent on lobbying has been way more. What AIPAC has spent is so insignificant compared. And from all the politicians across, bipartisan, partisan lines, whatever the case is, have received so little compared to the Qatars and the Saudis and the Chinese and all these other places. This is why I'm saying is that there is a double standard. Anti-Semitism is anti-Semitism. There is a major need for people to make Israel the scapegoat for all the problems. When, quite honestly, let's just call these people for what they are. All these perverts, all of these people who were disgusting and given over into their lust and went with him and associated themselves with him. All of them as individuals and as a collective even. I don't care what you want to collect them as. They need to be dealt with. Justice needs to be served. Right? Everybody wants to get so distracted with Israel. And this is why I'm saying we are all watching America go down, because people are so distracted by that. And I'm not trying to undistract you. If you think that that's the real problem, listen, all I can say to you all is keep going. It ain't going to help you. It ain't going to help you spiritually. You stand against God. That's for sure not going to help you. It ain't going to help you politically. Without Israeli contributions to America, it's not going to help you, right? If you detach yourself from Israel, and it's also not going to help you in terms of your own national security, right? Israel, compared to all the other countries that are going on, Israel, right? They're the biggest threat. Is it really worth that much of your time and all of that real estate in your brain? And all of these podcasts and political pundits and traitors, really, to the American people and to the president of the United States, all of these people, is it really worth it that you be willing to sacrifice your own national security, your own, alliance for intelligence, and your own, blessing? Like, is it really that? It's worth it? It's the dumbest thing in the world. The guy, there's been no evidence at all, concrete evidence, that Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent. It just hasn't been. And I know that that's what a lot of people were looking for these files to find. And guess what? Hasn't been found yet, because it doesn't exist. The guy was a pervert. The guy was a disgusting individual, a dreadful human being. However, it was an Israeli spy. Let me know what you guys think. Please leave me a comment, like, share, subscribe, push these videos out, get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out. We need more people who think like-minded right here on this channel. And as I always say, remember to serve God, to live trying. I'm out. I just want to let you know that we have launched Nissim Black Store. All you have to do is go online, order yourself one of these amazing mugs, God is King, with a matching t-shirt. We have a whole plethora of different shirts that are all about representing God wherever you go. As believers in the one true God of Israel, it is our duty not to hide, not to back down, not to shy away from expressing our faith wherever it is that we go. If you want to go and walk righteously before your God with a nice t-shirt, with a nice sweater, with a mug that's reminding us constantly that God is here with us, go to NissimBlack.store and make sure you get yourself some merch. It really helps support this channel and everything that we're doing and everything that we plan to do. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.